We all knew her as the mighty, aggressive, sarcastic, and fearless Sam Puckett in the hit Nickelodeon teen series iCarly, and the hard on the outside, soft on the inside best friend of the adorable Cat Valentine, whom she lived with in the spinoff of iCarly, Sam and Cat. Needless to say, fans loved Sam, a character played by Jennette McCurdy, despite her tough facade and strong attitude that most people correlate with Jade West, another character in the spinoff whom she had hit it off immediately with in the show. So when the latest news about iCarly surfaced, fans went crazy. Paramount Plus announced recently that iCarly will be back in a reboot shot 10 years after its last episode release. There's going to be a lot of changes to the series, including its platform from the kids' network Nickelodeon to the new streaming service Paramount Plus. While there may have been no official announcements yet, a lot of rumors say that it'll center on the adult lives of the main characters, which is set 10 years from the last time we saw Carly, and most importantly, the cast. Former cast members Miranda Cosgrove and Nathan Kress have both already announced their commitment to the reboot. However, what broke many fans' hearts is Jennette McCurdy's refusal to appear in the reboot, and to add to this, she also did not join the on-set photo posted by Paramount Plus on Twitter. Fans couldn't imagine iCarly as complete without the favorite trio, and now fans are thinking what will happen without her. Now, it may not have been confirmed yet, but there have been some reports that Sam's role won't be recast. Instead, a new best friend role will be given alongside Carly. But what really is the reason behind McCurdy's refusal to reprise her iconic role? Let's discuss how Jennette reacted to not being in the iCarly reboot, but before that, make sure you click that subscribe button, smash that like button, and hit the notification bell for future updates. Now, let's begin with the recap of who Sam is and her role in the classic teen series iCarly. Sam was a web star in iCarly, a web series created by Carly Shay, played by Miranda Cosgrove, and their next-door neighbor Freddie Benson, brought to life by Nathan Kress. She may have had a twin sister who was classy and attended a fancy boarding school, but she was the complete opposite of her sister. She was the type of girl who frequented the juvenile detention center and never cared about it. She often wore this tough facade, maybe to prevent her own emotions from getting hurt, but it often leads her to trouble. Throughout the show, she has been arrested 4 times. That's a lot, Sam. Despite her flaws, she has a beautiful heart that cares deeply for her true friends. But Sam is overly prideful, and this is why Carly and Freddie had to convince her to keep the money she got as a tip from her work. She might be a bully when it comes to nerds in her school, but she herself is actually very tech-savvy. Sam and Carly have been best friends since they were 8, and they've been inseparable since. Carly's caring heart serves as Sam's guardian, while Sam will always have Carly's back, and by that, it means she literally beats up anyone who hurts her best friend. Sam also dated one of her best friends in the show and one of the major trio, Freddie. The two did not last long in dating, but they remained friends. Aside from her major role in iCarly, Jennette McCurdy has starred in many more roles on Nickelodeon and outside the network, but despite her talent in acting, Jennette admitted that she actually hated it all along. Although Jennette has not issued an official statement directly pertaining to the iCarly reboot, she has previously spoken about quitting acting because of what she has quoted the psychological trauma she had been through as a child star. We all know that every public figure has their own stories of their mental health going a bit off due to stardom, and we cannot blame them. Every now and then, there will always be a star who gets so fed up by the constant standards, trying to live up to what the internet demands, and basically keeping themselves sane while everyone else feasts on their private lives. But for Jennette, this is not the case. According to an episode on her podcast, Empty Inside, she admitted that she had decided to leave the show business several years ago because she just did not want to do it anymore. She also confessed that her mother was the only person who really encouraged her enough to pursue acting, who put her in the industry when she was only 6, and by the age of 10 or 11, she was already the main financial support for her family. For Jennette, acting was her family's way out, as they were a family who didn't have a lot before. She even confessed that as acting was not really her passion, she has always struggled with it. She had a hard time during the audition processes and felt nervous. She seemed to surpass all that, obviously, as she developed to be a good actor eventually. But when her mother passed away, her goals kind of died too. She went back to acting for what she clarified a one-time thing when she wrote and performed her one-woman show, which she entitled "I'm Glad My Mom Died," but she expressed how she hated the feeling because she just really did not want to go through it anymore. Apart from not really liking being a part of the entertainment industry, Jennette confessed that she was kind of embarrassed about her roles in Nickelodeon, and that is mainly one of the reasons why she would never accept the role again for the reboot. Jennette seems to be a mature individual, and maybe all the acts she had to take for a kids series were too much for her back then. She admitted that her character as Sam Puckett, both in iCarly and Sam and Cat, made her resent her career in so many ways. Jennette played the exact same character in the spinoff Sam and Cat, but this time she was a lot more mature and protective of her new best friend, played by the now pop star Ariana Grande. That is a little heartbreaking to hear for us fans, especially those who love Sam Puckett. All along, while Carly and Sam were busy making us laugh, it is kind of hard to accept that Jennette was actually struggling behind it. But perhaps that tells us more about her incredible acting skills and natural talent. Jennette said that she was ashamed of her parents and of what she had to do as a part of the role, and as a teenage girl who has friends of her own, she often thought that being in a kids show was not really helpful for her in establishing a cool image. She felt all along that she was not really fulfilling her career with her roles, and that all of them were cheesy. However, for us fans of not only Sam Puckett but the lady behind her, Jennette McCurdy, the time when we can see her on screen may not be over yet. According to the actress, she has not completely ruled out acting yet. Maybe she just felt obligated to admit all of these because of iCarly's nearing reboot, but as per her, acting may not be completely erased on her future list, but she knows it is going to be some time before she might reconsider it. In the meantime, Jennette is focusing her career behind the scenes on content creation, such as doing podcasts, writing, directing, and producing. Her former co-star Nathan Kress reveals in his own episode of podcast Radioactive Dads that he understands Jennette's huge decision to step away from the spotlight for some time and not reprise her iconic role. He said in his podcast that it is a very personal matter that only Jennette should decide on, and that she is doing good either way in her new career. He also thought that since McCurdy had continued her role for another 35 episodes in Sam and Cat, where she played the same role, she might have already fulfilled her role more than Miranda and himself. What are your thoughts about Jennette leaving the industry and most likely not revisiting her role in the upcoming iCarly reboot? How will this missing major character affect the overall show? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.